Hi, Barbara Cagle here again. Today we're going to talk about affiliate marketing. What is affiliate marketing and how does it work? I want to welcome you to the class. Please keep in mind that you can use the contact buttons on the website at any time to reach us during regular business hours if you have questions. If you have questions after business hours, please feel free to send a contact me message and I will get back to you first thing in the morning. If you are looking for specific help on a specific issue, please let me know that as well, and I will do what I can to pull something together for you. Remember, with your purchase of membership in this site, you get up to 3 hours of individualized help. Iron out all those things that you're having problems with, or at least a good majority of them. So please keep that in mind. The information is located in the contact section of the website. So let's get started. What is affiliate marketing? What is affiliate marketing? Affiliates are basically a sales team. It's a group of people or a collection of people that are selling products for someone else. These people are self-employed. Affiliates do not clock into a regular employer. You're basically self-employed. Some people might know it as contract labor. You are dependent, the affiliates are dependent on producers for their products. In other words, people like me who create a product, I have affiliates that work with me. Now, I'm a little bit different than a lot of marketers in that my affiliates work with me, not for me. But normally you will be given a product and maybe a few sales materials, and then you're out on your own to figure out how to market this stuff, and so forth and so on. And it's different levels depending on how extensive the product might be. It is dependent on, excuse the typo, dependent on your personal skills to drive traffic to the offer. So you need to be able to understand how to drive traffic to a web page or a product landing page or whatever it might be. So essentially, affiliate marketing is a term that we apply to the process by which affiliates generate traffic to a product or a service online. Okay, let's look at how it works. Okay, affiliates sell products. Okay, vendors collect money and the vendor agent pays the affiliate. So what we have here, this is, don't you love my little graphics? Okay, this is your producer or your vendor up here. He has an idea for an ebook, and he's going to go ahead and produce and publish that ebook, and he's going to post it on the vendor's agent's website, which primarily that's ClickBank. There are a few others, but that's the most recognized one. So the vendor or the producer creates a product, puts it on ClickBank, and then he advertises it in the hope that some people will say, hey, this is good, and he's paying a good percentage out. I'm going to go sell this for him, and I'm going to make some money. So the producer now has several affiliates, hopefully dozens and dozens, sometimes thousands of affiliates running all over the internet trying to sell this product for him. When an affiliate sells a product, the customer goes, he drives the customer to the offer, to the producer sales page usually, or maybe to a review that they've done for this particular product. There's several different options. But once the affiliate gets the purchaser, the potential customer, to the product, and that customer clicks on the button. Now, it might be a PayPal button like the one I have here, or it might be a buy now button. You've seen the buttons all over the internet, I'm sure, by now. But once the customer clicks on that button, they make a purchase, and the payment is recorded in the vendor's agent's processing system. Once that payment is cleared, then the vendor will have a deposit for all the money made into his account. However, if the vendor has made an agreement with affiliate to share the proceeds, basically to pay the affiliate to sell the products for him, then the vendor's agent, again, that's usually ClickBank, will split the money according to the agreement that the producer has with the affiliate, and a portion of the money will go into each affiliate account and each of the vendors' accounts. So basically, it's a 1, 2, 3 process. The affiliates sell the products, the vendors collect money, the vendor's agent pays the affiliates a percentage. Okay, now the vendors collecting the money is usually, and the affiliates being paid is usually handled by the vendor's agent, which again, as I mentioned, that's usually ClickBank. They're the biggest one online right now. Sorry about the mouse thing. I'm trying to do this on 2 screens. But anyway, the affiliates and the vendors usually work through ClickBank. There's also another one called Commission Junction we'll talk about in a second. But ClickBank is by far the most widely recognized. I'm sure you've probably heard about it. If you've ever done any purchasing online, there's a good chance you've gone through ClickBank. They're very reputable. They tend to make sure that their payments get sent to people on time. Now, one of the questions I have is how you get paid. I'm going to have a Q&A at the end of this. But once the money, if you're an affiliate and you've made a sale and the money is credited to your account, once you reach a certain threshold that is set by you in the ClickBank sign-up process, then ClickBank will cut you a check. Now, they do hold the monies until certain criteria are met. A certain number of credit card purchases are made, or perhaps a certain length of time has passed to make sure that there are no returns on the product. So keep in mind that you're not going to get paid the next day. This is usually 3 to 5 weeks before you get your first payout. Okay? What is a vendor's agent? Okay, again, the vendor's agent, like I mentioned, is ClickBank. That's the most widely used today. It's very simple to sign up with ClickBank. It's free if you're an affiliate. If you are producing products and are interested in becoming a vendor, please see my video for that in another course area. But you want to make sure that you follow all the guidelines for both affiliates and vendors. There's certain guidelines they expect you to follow just to make sure that everybody's safe and legal, okay? The vendor's agent, or in this case ClickBank, processes payments for the products promoted by their vendors' affiliates. And again, there's a typo. I must be very tired. I apologize. But they process payments for products promoted by their vendors' affiliates. So you're the salesperson. The producer is essentially the person you're selling for, or your boss, okay? ClickBank is the bank that the payments go through, so they collect the money and send out the checks to simplify it. When ClickBank or whatever, if it happens to be, perhaps it's a PayPal, and in that case it's a different process. But wherever the money is collected, then it's the responsibility of either the vendor's agent or the vendor himself. Now, there's a lot of vendors who do use PayPal, and they set up programs with their affiliates where they collect a certain number of sales and track them and then send out a check to their affiliates. While this is fine, and most vendors that do that are probably up and above board, there are some questions about how payments are tracked and how sales are tracked, and sometimes disagreements erupt. So you might want to make sure to look at that option as well if you are considering becoming an affiliate and the vendor you're looking at uses PayPal for payouts. So you might want to think about that. But the vendor's agent will make a deposit into the vendor's account and into the affiliate account based on a pre-agreed upon percentage split. So for instance, if I happen to be a vendor and I have a product, let's say I have an ebook that I want to sell and I put it on ClickBank, and in the process of listing this with ClickBank, I will fill in a section of the form that says, do I want affiliates? Yes, in this case. Of course, I want somebody to help me sell it. And then secondly, what is the percentage split that you will do with your affiliates? So, I mean, I've seen some as low as 10%, and they usually sit on the page 1200 of the listing because most people want a higher percentage. Currently, a good accepted percentage is a 50-50 split. So you think if you have a product that's listing for $10, you get $5, and the producer or the vendor gets $5. So it's not quite that, because there is a fee from ClickBank that's associated with it. But you know, it's a pretty good average. If you have a $10 product, both will probably clear about $4.25 or so. It's not exact, you know, depending on the product and how it's delivered and some other factors. But they tell you that, you know, what the fees are. The product is then delivered by the vendor, typically through a web page. So ClickBank does not exactly deliver the product. What happens when you purchase through ClickBank is the vendor has set up a page that is basically a private page. It's supposed to be. There are cases where it's not done right and it's not a private page, but in most instances it's a private page. It may be password protected, or there may be some other ways to protect the page. They list the URL, the web address of that page, in the product registration through ClickBank. Once ClickBank has that, once they record it in the database, and then once a product is purchased, they immediately redirect the purchaser to that page so that they can receive their download or their passcodes or whatever it may be that they need to accept delivery of the product. So all that is handled automatically once the product is set up. So as far as affiliates are concerned, if you are using hop links and other methods to get people to an offer to purchase, you want to make sure your tracking IDs are correct, your ClickBank affiliate IDs are correct, because that's the way they track who made the sale and how who and how much each person is paid. Okay. Commission Junction, and this is a vendor's agent that is available to you online. However, Commission Junction works a little bit differently. It is very similar to the vendor's agent. They, pretty much deal in the same way. However, they deal mostly with physical products as opposed to software downloads or information products like you find on ClickBank. You won't find ebooks on Commission Junction. You'll find $2,000 chandeliers, perhaps, or electronics, those types of things. Best Buy is one of the common, well-known businesses that lists on Commission Junction. The process for acceptance into Commission Junction is also a little bit more complicated, and it does take longer. And once you're in Commission Junction, there's no guarantee that a producer or a store such as, say, Best Buy will automatically accept you. You have to go through application process. They look over your website and your length of time online and a lot of other things to determine whether or not you'll be a good fit for them, whether or not you would damage their reputation. For example, Best Buy deals with families. They're not going to accept someone that has a sexually oriented site or a Juarez site as an affiliate. Okay, so that's just a couple of rough examples. Okay, let's move on. Here's some questions that I'm commonly asked, and I thought I would, try to give you a couple of answers to this. One of the biggest questions we see is, how do I get paid? Depending on which vendor you're working with and whether or not you're working through PayPal or ClickBank, there's several different ways of getting paid. With ClickBank, they can pay you either in a direct deposit, a paper check, or through PayPal. Now, they do have some guidelines that you have to follow in order to get paid. You have to accept a paper check for the first couple of payments or within a certain time frame, and after that you can sign up for other methods of payment. Okay, and you need to read their terms of service before you sign up as an affiliate through them to make sure that the way that they pay you is acceptable to you. PayPal, if you sell something, this is especially pertinent to those people that may have their own little ebooks and they want to sell them on their own through PayPal. You can do that if you have a personal account. All you have to do is go into the merchant services area and create a buy now button, and then anyone that purchases your product will put money directly into your PayPal account. Again, even though you do have access to that money immediately under your personal terms with PayPal, the best practices would be to leave a good percentage of that money alone in case you do have any refunds required. If someone buys something through PayPal and they decide they don't want it and they request a refund, you are responsible for that refund. So you want to make sure that you leave a little buffer in there for that. Next question we get all the time, and one of the reasons that you see so many offers for traffic generation and article marketing and all the things that I try to cover in this IMBizSchool program is, how do I promote the products? You promote the products in any way that you can manage to promote them within the within the terms of law under the FCC, Federal Communication Commission. There are things you cannot do. You cannot put up an ad that says you're going to make $1 million in 30 days with this product guaranteed. Well, that's a problem. There may be a case where someone did do that, but that's not typical. So you need to make sure when you're promoting products and writing advertisements that you watch those FCC guidelines. You cannot promise something that the product does not deliver. You cannot. Now, you can say that these, you can show, for example, you can show your best star student made $3,473 in 24 hours with your product. Immediately below that, you need to make sure you have the disclaimer, this is not a typical result. Results will vary depending on your performance or whatever. So when you're promoting products, if you're writing advertisements for a product, if you're doing reviews for a product, whatever you're doing, you need to make sure, number one, first and foremost, cover CYA, cover your butt, and make sure you follow all legal mandates. But there's a lot of ways you can promote products. You can promote products through article marketing. You can write articles or reviews about a product and publish those either on a blog or a website as a guest post on a website. You can write articles. Now, there are some guidelines you have to follow if you're going to write articles and submit them to article directories such as eZine Articles. But, there are ways that you can promote products in that manner. You can go into forums and talk about products. If you have a Facebook account, a Twitter account, some of these other accounts, LinkedIn, some of these other social networking accounts, you can promote your products through those accounts. However, keep in mind that these are social networks. They're not designed to be a sales platform. So please, use a little discretion. Don't go into these social networks and start blasting your ad, buy my. I mean, you've seen them yourself, and they can be irritating. So if you're going to promote products, do it in a mannerly and ethical manner so that you don't alienate people. That's the last thing you want to do, is alienate people, so that people start to see your name and run from you when they see your products or your emails coming through. That's another tool, by the way. You can send out email promotions and build a list through opt-in boxes and other manners. You can purchase lists. You can buy advertisements on other people's lists. You can find people that have, for example, newsletters that go out once a week or once a month that are related to the product you're promoting, and you can promote that way. So there are a lot of options out there to promote products. And if you go through the courses that we're going to be offering here at imbizschool.com, you'll be able to find a lot of ways to promote your products in the traffic section especially. But there's some other ideas that I have for you in the courses that will probably help you promote some products. And I do believe that I might be able to include an ebook with this short video that will also give you some ideas. Okay, the next questions most affiliates are going to ask the vendor is, what tools am I given? What do you have to help me? Depending on the vendor, that could be anything from, here's your link, to, hey, I've got a full website, copy it, put your link in, and you're done. Depending on the vendor and how, first of all, how expensive the product is. If a vendor is promoting a product that costs $20, there's not a real good chance that they're going to have a whole lot of stuff available for you. You may have a couple of banners and maybe some text links, or some hyperlinks and things like that you can use. But, it just depends, again, on the vendor. You need to look at each vendor's offer individually and decide if the tools that they are offering you are enough. Some vendors will offer you sample emails that you can mail out. Some will offer you sample autoresponder messages that can go out on a regular basis. I've worked with one vendor that promotes a membership site, and he gives you a set of 52 emails that go out once a week promoting his product, and that you can use to promote his product, and hopefully garner some sales from his membership site and some other things he does. So, and that's that's a more rare example, but they are out there. So you need to make sure that you look when you choose a product, or when you're looking at a product under ClickBank, or even through Commission Junction. What tools do they have? Are you allowed to use their logo or their name in your marketing efforts? So those are things you need to look at. Okay, and again, I can give you some generalities, but I can't really give you any specifics unless I look at a specific vendor, and technically I can't do that. So I'm trying to give you some good ideas here what to look for to keep yourself out of trouble. So what else should you know? Due diligence, due diligence, due diligence, due diligence. When you are considering promoting someone else's products, the first thing you should do is try to get your hands on that product, whether they have an opportunity for you to get it at a reduced price. Most vendors, if you have signed up as an affiliate and already gone through the process, would be willing to give you at the very least a reduced price on the product. A lot of them don't. I know I've signed up over the years to be an affiliate, and could not afford to purchase the products that I was trying to sell. So, I mean, I had to run around and look at reviews because I tend to be sort of anal retentive about it. I'm not going to sell something that I don't know anything about. So I would have to run around like a chicken with my head cut off to find out information about those products. Nowadays, most vendors are willing to give you a little bit more and tell you a little bit more. For example, if I happen to have an affiliate, I have a program, a condition in my program that they have to know the product. So in order for them to know the product, I request that they purchase the product up front, but once they've made a couple of sales of the product, I either give them a refund, or at that point, if they have not purchased, I will send them a copy of the product. So, you know, it depends on who your vendor is and how they choose to work. But be sure to ask questions, send emails, contact these vendors before you start running out and selling their products. You want to know what it is you're telling your customer, because after all, remember, you are the customer. You're the go-between between the customer and the vendor. So if there's a problem, the customer is going to turn to you first. You want to know how to handle it. You need to know what kind of backup that your vendor is going to give you. Are they just simply going to say, well, give them their money back and that's it? Or are they going to help you with customer service if it's a software product, that sort of thing? So those are the kind of things you need to look to and ask. How do I drive traffic? That could be a 10-hour video in and of itself. There are so many methods of driving traffic. I mentioned a few. You have Facebook, you have forum marketing, article marketing, social networking, backlinking, email marketing, newsletter marketing, AdSense, you know, ClickBank Rotator ads. There's a lot of companies out there that can promise to drive traffic for you. You can purchase lists that you can use to drive, you know, as traffic on a list and send, you know, offers out to your list to drive them to a certain offer. There's just a myriad of options out there. If you're interested in driving traffic, you need to do some research before you hook up to be a vendor. Learn some of the basics, learn some of the skills. And go about it in an honest, ethical manner. You know, I'm sure you've had emails arrive in your inbox that were just, you know, straight up baloney. And you know, you don't open them, or if you do open them just out of curiosity, they go pretty quickly into the trash. You don't want to be one of the people on the other end of that email trying to sell something. So, you know, look into some of the options available to you. You're welcome to go over to KegelOnlineMembership.com and look at the information I have there. It's all free to use if you have not already gotten a membership here. The difference between what is there and what is here is that IM Business School is primarily videos and tutorials and one-on-one, whereas KegelOnlineMembership.com is mostly articles, a few videos, and you know, that sort of thing. But there is some very good information. There are also some good free ebooks there that you can download to help you learn how to drive traffic if you're not interested in the video tutorials. The next question I get asked all the time is, why am I self-employed? Most vendors that are producing products do not have any type of a traditional business. It's like any other sales position. Unless you're working for a big conglomerate or a big company, you are usually considered an independent contractor. You're considered as self-employed. You get a 1099 report instead of a traditional W-2 form, and you do have to be responsible for your taxes. So keep that in mind, and you know, try to figure out ahead of time what kind of taxes that you may be required to pay. You do need to check the laws in your particular location. I'm not a tax person, and I hire people to help me with my taxes. You don't want to get in trouble with the IRS. You don't want, you don't want to have someone come in and freeze your accounts. You don't want, any problems. So, make sure you talk to someone about what your tax responsibilities are. You may want to consider obtaining a DBA license. They're usually pretty easy to obtain in your area, but again, you need to talk with your small business bureau to get some advice about that. You do not have to have a DBA license, doing business as license, but I would recommend that you look into some other options if you plan on trying to build a replacement income or a wealth income. So if you're just doing it for a few $100s on the side, that's possibly not necessary. Again, I'm not a tax person, so please look into those laws. But you are considered self-employed. You do not get a regular paycheck from anybody. So keep that in mind. Your pay is directly dependent on the amount of work that you do and how successful your efforts are. And again, what do I need to do about taxes? My best advice is to talk to a tax person. If you don't have a tax person available, you can usually go to your local H&R Block. You can sometimes go to your local colleges where they are training people. If you're you don't have a lot of money to go in and consult with a tax accountant. But you need to do some research. Small Business Administration can usually be a good, helpful resource for you to check into. Do some research online. Bottom line is make sure you at least consider what your tax liability is going to be, because you really don't want to deal with the IRS and after a fun, successful run as an affiliate marketer. So I hope I've answered some of your questions today about affiliate marketing. If there's anything I can do to help you with affiliate marketing, please feel free to contact me through either my contact button or any of the other methods available to you through the website. This is just the first in the series of affiliate marketing videos. The next one I'm going to be doing will be talking to you about how to get an affiliate account in a little bit more detail, how you go about setting up an affiliate account in ClickBank. So I have a demonstration video on that for you next. But, like I said, be sure to look below this video on the page and see what is available for you as a free download to help you get started and help you understand affiliate marketing just a little bit more. So thank you for your time today. I appreciate it. Good luck to you, and remember, do your due diligence, ask the questions, don't take anything for granted. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.